All right, and we are live. Welcome to another Tactics and Chill. Let's get to our warm-up. I think this should be the answer. And we'll take the rook. This one looks fairly self-evident. If we win a piece, that's good enough. So let's do it. How's everybody doing in the chat today? What's going on? I hope everyone is having a great day with at least a little bit of chess involved. Now let's see. Excuse me. So obviously we could take this and just trade stuff down, but there's also this check. And if they take and we take, and they play like king g3 or something, I don't think there's a super clear follow-up, but queen h8 looks pretty winning. Excuse me. To me, that's fairly compelling. Like, we're not sacrificing anything. We just get a very good position right off the bat. And given that our rook's hanging, we don't have a lot of other options. So we may as well give it a whirl. Now, they chose king f3, less forcing. Probably queen h8 is still the move. I don't see any other major options, so there we go. Santosh says, hello, is today Labor Day here? I think in the US, Labor Day is in September, the first week generally on a Monday. Is it Labor Day for you? Okay, they're threatening mate, so we better just take this this rook. There's no other move probably that can accomplish that. Hello Ryan, Kadungo, good to see you after a long time. Yeah, I am playing viewers. If you want to send me a challenge with some increment so I can still chat with all of you, that'd be great. Ryan, what have you gotten up to? I'm sure you've been playing chess the whole time since you were in my class. Also your birthday, okay, nice. Okay, I think we're gonna just go ahead and promote. And casual seeks Ryan for today. All right, now I can take with the king, or I can take with the pawn. I think taking with the pawn is the clearly superior choice. We'll just block with the rook. Get our own queen. Ryan, I think last time you showed up in the chat, you had just accepted a university offer, I think. Is that right? Is that still the case? Okay, this is a pin, so we can just take that. If they throw this in the middle, then we'll trade down because our knight has a way to escape if we need to. That seems pretty good to me. That's check, so I know what to do. Escape, of course. I think in this case I would play king f1 instead of king takes e2 because I would really like to take this queen. And that's the answer. Hello, Thor Chess, welcome. Fellow adult learner, indeed. How's your chess coming along? Ryan is going to IU Kelly for business intelligence and data science. Nice, good combo. Yeah, no problem. Appreciate that you're playing chess. Happy to raid. Yeah, Ryan, we should catch up offline or here in the chat if you want about this IU Kelly opportunity for you. That's exciting. Let me know if you need any recommendation letters or anything like that. I've written a bunch for my students, and usually it's gone well for them. Now, in this position, they're probably going to take the bishop, which would be inconvenient because it defends against queen e7. But excuse me. So let's say we play knight d2. They take. We still have knight d6. King to d8, and then queen takes f8. So I don't think I'm really too worried about losing the bishop. I'd rather get my pieces active. This seems right to me. Okay, I see your challenge, Ryan. All right, let's get that challenge. I'm happy to take it. All right, let me finish off this puzzle real quick. Knight d6. And queen takes f8. Okay, let's take that challenge. And I'm happy to take challenges from anybody else in the chat as well. Feel free to shoot me a challenge, and I'll play as many games as I can handle. All right, let me fix my thing as usual. I swear, one of these days I'm going to make it work every time. It used to work every time. But you know me. Busy, busy, no time to fix it. All right, let's get started. Any requests for a first move? Highest priority will go to Ryan. Ryan has priority for choosing my first move. Whatever you want me to play. However hideous or normcore, whatever you want. It's like in the tournament when the organizer plays the honorary first move and then you just leave it there. Hello Pacha, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. Alright, e4. Ryan wants to see e4. Normal move. Any second move requests from anyone? Ryan's been practicing Sicilian theory. Okay, so maybe we will play a Sicilian. Is there any Sicilian line that you want to practice against, Ryan? I don't know all lines, of course, but you know, I have a pretty general knowledge. I might be able to, you know, make a good effort, even if it's not my main thing here. Good options for anyone who's not familiar with Sicilian. We've got d4, knight f3, knight c3, lots of great things that white could play here. There's even some weird options like, you know, a3 and b3. I think even g3 might be playable, though not very good. Any line is good. All right, needs experience with everything. So let's give this a try. I don't play this very often, so I'd like to get a little experience with this as well. This is our probably close Sicilian, but even that is not guaranteed. The reason they call it close Sicilian is that you're less likely after knight c3 to play d4, which would open some lines. Okay, now after knight f3, and I'm sorry, knight c6, and then what will be interesting here? I think maybe simple bishop c4. All right, I'll try f4 here. e6, interesting choice. It really makes me wonder. Let's try this out, just to give Ryan a little spice of life, a little variety of things. This is a little bit unusual, so it could be fun. Yeah, d5 is the only good move here, so well done. Now, I think I will opt for this capture, which will probably accelerate black's development, but you know, that's also good experience. Nothing wrong with figuring out how to play this imbalanced position. This is definitely a totally weird version, but you know, that's fine. Throw in castling here. One thing in the Sicilian, excuse me, it's pretty normal to have to castle quickly on the king side, and so even though black has, you know, arguably very good development and structure, having no pawn over here is pretty weird for black, and that might be challenging in some ways. Is Ryan GM a GM? Good question, Jake. Ryan, have you become a GM when I wasn't watching? Ryan and I go way back. He was in my class since... Ryan might have been in my class since 2015 until 2019, 2019 or in 2020 when I made a change to my PhD track. Yeah, happy birthday, Santosh. Nice of Zoe to drop the birthday wishes. Not even close, Ryan says. Okay, knight d4. Interesting. I'm going to give this a try. I have a feeling that I'm giving Ryan a lot of opportunity, though. Lots of options for getting a good position. Let's see how he handles it, though. Ryan, is the Sicilian a new thing for you these days? Or just that you need practice in general? I know a while ago you were playing e5, but that was so long ago it's easy to imagine that you could have played a bunch of different openings since then. Playing it every game with black. Yeah. Many people play e4. I've noticed, though, at a pretty high level, d4 has been becoming much more popular. And, you know, preparing for black, I do find d4 a little bit tricky. Maybe it's just because I've played e4 a lot. You know, when you're a beginner, a lot of the time coaches teach e4, which is reasonable in my opinion. Excuse me. So for me, I taught myself e4 when I learned to play chess in high school, and I just kind of did. I play it more often habitually just because I have a little bit more familiarity. But I do play d4 sometimes. Yeah, this is an interesting position. Oh, he's going for it. I did not think you would do this, Ryan. I think you are in grave danger. Or you're just playing very well and I have no idea. But usually when this kind of attack happens, it's very, very dangerous. And people will sacrifice a piece pretty often to make this happen. Many people are familiar with the fried liver attack, especially at a lower level. That's one common way that people try to go for this sort of play or the scholars mate patterns. But you know, in other openings like this, it's not really much different. And this is why in the Sicilian people tend to castle early and castle often, as I like to say. Okay, now what's the ideal continuation? Hello, Cray. Crayola is among us. How are you doing? Good to see you. Excuse me. I think there's no time like the present. We may as well just go ahead and get this attack rolling. See where it takes us. I just popped in at one of the local clubs and let them know about the academy that we are opening here in New Orleans. And people are excited, and that's nice. Okay, now, what do I care about more in this position? Is it taking the bishop? I think it might be taking the bishop. Taking the bishop feels pretty good. Let's go for it. All sorts of mischief is afoot. Now, strong continuation might be queen f7. I don't see an immediate issue with that. So here we go. Let's give it a try. Feels nice. No immediate issue. Go ahead and play it. Why not? There are many, many perils here. But it's not impossible for white to blunder. Queen d4 check, quick as you like. This makes me wonder a little bit. I think I'll just tuck in the corner. No problem with that. Very interesting structure and weirdness. Excuse me. I think it's really funny. I don't know if I've seen this kind of pawn situation before. I feel okay about the situation. So I just announced a series of tournaments that I will be hosting in New Orleans on the USCF TLA, the Tournament Life Announcement site. And that's exciting because it means that people can officially see that we have a tournament available and sign up. And I haven't run a tournament in a long time. Ryan was actually in a lot of my old tournaments. I've probably run a few hundred sections over like a 7-year period of TDing. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. And in the near future, I would like to go for the FIDE Arbiter. Pacha's asking what's the link for the tournaments. Thank you. I just made a command for Stream Elements to drop the link, but I forget what it is. So I'm gonna just look it up real quick. Excuse me. Here comes the boom. Oh, there's the sacrifice. Let me just take that real quick. And give me one moment in the other chat. No. So here's our website. It's savvychess.city. And if you go there and then click the events tab, it takes you here. And all you have to do is become a member, which costs $5 a year. And you can register for any of these events. And some of them are free events. So if you're in the area, definitely come through. I think it would be really, really fun to get that together. Now here, I could easily lose the game by playing d takes c3, which would allow rook d1 back rank mate. So that would be unfortunate, and I don't want to do that to myself. So I think, oh, here's another challenge incoming. Let's see, what have we got? This is from Santosh. Okay, cool. Let's do the Santosh game as well. I'm gonna close this streak for the moment. Okay, and we were requesting Sicilians again. Everybody wants to see a Sicilian, so I'll play a Sicilian again. Maybe a queen takes c3. I don't know. I feel like I need to get my pieces out. That's more important to me. So what would getting my pieces out look like without losing the game? I think b takes c3 is very reasonable. That should help me get my pieces out. All right, Santosh played c5, and we're in a Sicilian. I'll play a close Sicilian once again, just for consistency, for parsimony, and all the good things that come with that. Pacha's asking, are there going to be any perks for being a member in a different city, like online stuff? That's a good question. We are hoping to do online content as well. It's not ready yet. So right now I think it would just be the satisfaction of being a member, but there will be opportunities for sure. Okay, I'm under attack, so I should probably go scoop a pawn. I need to be careful not to get back rank mated. That's the main issue that I'm facing. Yeah, we're gonna have online content, and one of the perks actually of being a member is that you can get access to our merch, and one of the things that will be in our store soon, and you guys are the first to learn about this, we are going to be having custom training materials in the store, affordable, beautiful books, appropriate for gifts, appropriate for if you want to just get training materials on a cycle. You know, like maybe every month you have like $10 and you want to get a high quality tactics book that you can keep on your shelf and show people because it has beautiful cover art. We're going to be offering things like that, and that will also only be for members. So even if you're in another city, you can order those things from us once we have them populated in the store. And I'm going to snag a pawn. Thanks, Pacha. Yeah, I love tactics books too. I mean, here we are. We're doing tactics and chill like it's our job. I think it's absolutely critical content. All right, I'm gonna try. Oh, that was almost a game-losing move. We're not doing that. No game-losing moves for me, please. All right, I'm just gonna go for bishop a3. Obvious move. No need to make it so fancy. Okay, knight f6 is there. So I'm gonna do this. Also, you know, someone recently was asking, hey, your merch store link isn't working. And the reason for that is I would like to move my merch into our website, Savvy Chess. And so any Coach Robert merch that you may have been hoping to get will be available in the store pretty soon. I'm still investigating how to set up my store in a way that benefits the whole life cycle of the different things that I would like to offer. Okay, here comes some counterplay. How rude. Your own coach, attacking your own coach. This is tactics time if I ever saw it. Alright, good game. Let's look at this game real quick. Yeah, good to play after a long time. Okay, so let's also look at the opening book, just because there was some interest in the opening in general. Let's see, can you guys read that? Yeah, that should be okay. Alright, Jake said, yeah, good game, Ryan, thank you. Jake says, I wonder if DC3 on 16 or 17 could have been a sound move as well. Seems risky, but the queen protects D1. Bring the bishop in. Yeah, let's check it out. USA Muslim, definitely send me a challenge. I'll accept your challenge right away. Okay, so Santosh is electing for the exact same thing that Ryan did, so I wonder if he knows something I don't know. I'm going to try... Let's see. I'm going to try E5 again. I feel like it was fine. Oh, there's Dawkins. Nice. Also known as Muslim. Hold on. Let me get your game going here. 3 plus 10. Thank you. All right. So normally in this position, it looks like people play G3, but there's a lot of options. Thousands of games with Bishop B5, Knight F3, F4, Knight GE2. So those are our main options in this opening. It looks like. I'm gonna take and see what Santosh has in store for me. All right, Dawkins, let's get started with E4. Let's do it. Okay, Santosh is following the exact same path. I had another idea in this position that was kind of interesting, but I'm also curious about what Santosh has in mind. Okay, I'll play Knight C3 again. I don't know why this is the theme of the day, but it's fun. Oh, also, Stream Elements just dropped the link for New Orleans Chess House, which is an extension of the Savvy Chess that pertains specifically to the New Orleans area. So if you're visiting our area, definitely come through. Creo is playing Rocket League right now. Yeah, no problem. Oh, okay. Knight F6. This looks like an opportunity for me to play E5. Usually that's pretty good. All right, Santosh got this one in. I probably shouldn't analyze the exact same position. This is how you get banned on Lichess. So I probably should have played a different move just so that we could still analyze this game. So we'll come back to this. I'm gonna close that out just so that Lichess doesn't think any weird stuff is going on. We do have the exact position on the board. That's a little tricky to do. Okay. Oh yeah, I might have stepped into a common opening situation. Right. This is something. Okay, let's try this. Okay, now last game I played just Knight F3. I think Knight F3 is still good. So we're gonna keep going with that. Okay. Knight H5. I'm cool with that, if you're cool with that. Excuse me. I have to keep protecting my queen, so I have to decide, do I do it here or here? All right, Santosh managed to get his king safe. That makes sense. I'll also make my king safe. All right, so if I play queen e4, there could be some d5 or f5, but maybe I'm cool with that. If I play queen e3, what's that? Probably blocking my bishop a little bit, but objectively pretty safe. Okay, if I play queen e4 and they play, yeah, let's see, d6. Curiouser and curiouser. Let's give this a whirl. I'm not sure it's the best move, but I'm curious to see what happens. Okay, a6. Interesting move. Ryan says, I want to play more USCF tourneys now that you have more time and really trying to push rating. Any tips? Yeah, for you, probably more than back when you were in my class, lifestyle is going to be important because you're, going to school and things like that. That's very important to try to balance out. So a lot of your decision making will probably be based around that. I think getting involved in a university club is really, really good because it has some, obvious benefits for social things and whatnot, but it also may give you opportunities to play tournaments like the Pan American Intercollegiate Tournament, which is, a very nice tournament. And, excuse me. Let me try to make this clock a little bit bigger for you guys. Oh, that's much better. I don't remember why I did it. Oh, it's because we need to be able to read the moves. It'll be okay. Yeah, so if you join a club and can get the club funding, or if they already have funding, you could probably play some special tournaments, and those are really good. And you can only do it while you're enrolled in school. So, unique opportunity. Definitely recommend playing that. When you have a lot of other responsibilities, not like when you're in lower school, I think it's good to try to make chess somehow just a part of your routine to make it easy and low friction to go to these events. You know, at the end of the day, chess is a board game, and once you're in university, you're probably not like aiming for any special scholarships or anything like that. So it's better to just, you know, treat it accordingly. Okay, so I could play some fun moves here like g4 just to bully the knight, but I think I'll hold off on that in favor of maybe just pawn f4. Another good option is bishop b5, just trading off the knight that is bothersome, but f4 I think is probably a little bit more ambitious, so that's what we're gonna go for. We're gonna play ambitiously. Santosh is also being ambitious. He's claiming this pawn, but now he has this very, you know, bizarre pawn structure, and we'll see how that pans out for him. I think I'll try this. All right, Dawkins is playing f5. Interesting choice. I appreciate the time bonus. Thank you, Dawkins. So if I take on Basant, the knight can come back, but there's also damage to the pawn structure permanently. Alternatively, I can just let black exist with less space and be just cool with the consequences. So I think it would be fun to play something simple like queen c4. All right, here comes b5. Santosh is getting his development on. And I will also get my development on. All right, Ryan his goal is to get to 1400 by the end of 2026 if he can still play a good amount. Yeah, if you're still in a similar position to where you were last time you were in my class, I think you can easily accomplish that goal. Tactics are super important. Make sure that you're playing sharply. And I think more than ever, it's important not to play in a kind of stereotyped way. If you can try to freshen up your play and do something that's, you know, exciting and interesting for you and also simple to do, that will excuse me, improve your chances. Don't just play the same old stuff that you always did. Try to play something that you know, gives you some energy to play. Okay, I can't flag in this game. That's not allowed. So, making a fast move. Fast. Thanks, Santosh. Appreciate the time bonus. You guys are definitely too generous to me. I'm going to try this. This feels a little bit wrong, like against the basic opening principles. Like I need to get out all my pieces. But I also feel like there's a special opportunity to bring the knights to the king side, and that's also fun to do. Ryan, are you planning any major events? Let's take this. Alright, this comes with check. That's convenient for me. Interesting choice. I think I will play just 92. Not really too worried. Ryan says, do I know any major tournaments in New Jersey? The New Jersey Open is at the end of the summer. You will probably be quite sharp if you play a bunch of tournaments before September. And then you could finish off with New Jersey Open, play a high section, and see if you can get a class prize for the like under 2,000 or something. I think that's a good option for you. You know, if rating's the goal, you should probably play up. It's hard to gain rating without doing that. All right, let's get that going. Here comes the danger from the rook. So I probably have to be a little bit more creative than I've been so far. I'll give this a try. That looks good. Okay, so the king is there. I think it's time to get the pieces out. Yeah, let's give that a try. Let's get those pieces out. Knight d4. Runs into knight f7. Smothered mate. No, Santosh. Good game. Yeah, Ryan. Don't be intimidated by the under 2,000 section. You're going to be okay. Ooh, this is a big sacrifice moment. I think I'm equipped to take it. Unfortunate knight f7. In this position, probably you're okay. Like bishop e6, I actually cannot do much. Like if bishop e6, knight e6, f e6, you're threatening bishop d4, so I anyway have to react. Okay, so there's some danger. Maybe I'll play... I'll do this. Excuse me. Yeah, too excited. Chess is definitely like a nerves game, right? It's important to keep it under control. It's easy to get nervous. Which is also probably part of why like we get so much weird behavior from chess players sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna take this and get the queen. Tactics time. Alright, good game. Yeah, let's take a look at these two games. Actually, 3 games. Before I take another challenge, and feel free to send a challenge. I'll just linger for a moment before accepting, so that we can take a look at these 3 games because they were very interesting. I'm gonna pull up Ryan's game real quick. Sorry for the ugly transition here. All right, Ryan's there. Okay, so let's look at Ryan's first. Opening analysis boards for everyone. Okay, so in each game we played the same kind of weird setup. Very normal moves are like g3, bishop b5. I've played bishop b5 in the past from both sides, I think. Knight f3, normal move. F4, very normal. Knight ge2, also normal. These are all different options for white that are all good. There might even be other moves that are good for white that I'm just not super aware of. Like, for example, d3, I think will probably end up looking very similar to f4, also to g3. So yeah, flexible thing for white to do. Bishop c4 is a little bit of an oddball, but this is something that will be common to see, especially in a lower section, because many people, you know, they learn to put the bishop on c4 in different positions, and they don't really know any difference, so they just do it anyway against Sicilian. But e6 is a strong way to meet this, and I don't think in any of these games, hold on, let me get the same position. Yeah, so e6 was chosen by Santosh. And yeah, so Dawkins played the other one. So we had one game with e6. Now here knight f6 was played, f4. If I had started with f4 instead, and then you play knight f6, then e5 comes, and so that's not good. All right, Santosh, good to see you. Happy birthday. Also, happy Labor Day. Let's not forget about Labor Day. So in this position, people are more likely to play moves like d6 or e6 or g6. So it is kind of unique to get this position. All right, so let's say they had played e6. So f4, e6. If we play bishop c4 at this point, it's not very logical. But at the same time, if black plays knight f6, this is not as logical as knight e7, since e5 it looks like is maybe working. I see it's been played 5 times. d5's here. And it says e takes d6. Is white 1-1 game. These opponents are all like pretty high rated too. Bishop b5 I think is more logical, but I wanted to see how everyone fared in the tactical position. Muslim ran out of ideas, I see. So bishop b5 is very logical here. After knight d7, bishop c6, and then d3. This is kind of like white just has more space, and it's a small, maybe small edge for white. I think probably double-edged position. I don't know if I would prefer this for white, frankly. But bishop e5 is definitely a normal move to play. So against this, d5, if it hasn't been played, there's probably something wrong with this move. All right, let's say it says take here. Take, take. Knight f3, engine says it's pretty good. b6. It says this is -2. That's a really big advantage. That's much more than I thought. I thought this was kind of a small disadvantage for white, like maybe -1 or -0.5, but -2 and climbing is like really a lot. It makes sense though, because when you take down the line like this, you also open the G file and give extra development. With the pawn on f4, it blocks this bishop. So white's development is not that great in the first place, and it gives black more development, and it gives an easy way to attack g2. Also, the d4 square is available. It's really hard to get this bishop out. You'll notice in all of these games, hold on, let me turn off the engine. In all of these games, it was a little bit hard to get the dark bishop out. Even in this one, where I had like a lot of freedom, I didn't really use the dark bishop until much later. And in this game, which was identical from the beginning, you know, it was the same deal. This bishop didn't participate at all, in fact. So these are some of the core issues with like white's approach, and in the Sicilian, this d5 break is really critical. And I think it was telling that Santosh got it. Let's see who else got the d5 break. Dawkins did not get the d5 break in. Ryan did get the d5 break. So black was fine in 2 out of these 3 games, like immediately, even much better. This game I think also maybe was okay. Knight f6 I think is a bit dubious, because you don't have to play e5, you can just play bishop e3. And after knight c6 and queen d2, this is kind of like a normal dragon position where white has a pretty good kingside attack. But e5, frankly, I just didn't really remember that this was a key idea for black on that move. This wasn't me like testing something. It was just like, forgot about it. This is pretty much always good for black when you entice someone into spending extra time in the opening to create an attack that doesn't work. You got a couple of developing moves. Knight h5 is also good. I think probably bishop g7 would have been better, because after like f4 and castling, if I play g4, I think you can just play d5 with the idea that bishop takes g4. And this is I think is like substantially better for black. The d5 break is really important, even in this line. Okay, so that was interesting. If anyone wants to send a challenge, feel free. I will pivot to the streak until I see a challenge. Beep beep. All right, puzzle streak in progress. Let's go back to that. Okay, so there's a rook hanging. Okay, there's KBM. Let's get a challenge from KBM. Also, welcome to the chat, KBM. Back to the game. Yeah, Cray, jump in right afterwards. I'll be here until, yeah, I've got like another 40 minutes in me before I have to switch and do some other stuff. All right, now d4. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Let's see, what is our most fun thing to do in this position? We had some requests for Sicilian earlier. Any requests for d4 this time, guys? Maybe maybe e6, maybe knight f6. Any special requests? I can always pick something. All right, Cray is thinking Caro-Kann, so I'm going to play c6 and see if it becomes a Caro-Kann. It may not. It could become just regular old Slav if you play c4, and it could transpose to other openings as well. So here's a London-like situation, and just to make it super weird, which you know is what I do. Queen b6. Let's make it weird. We can call this opening the Weirdo Con, or the Caro Can't. All right, let's do this. This will almost definitely become something Caro-Conly in short order. Okay, maybe not. d6 is a little sus for a Caro-Kann-like entity. Let's try this out. See how that floats some boats. Let's try this out. I like my position right now. I think it's pretty good. Not Caro-Kann-like, but, you know, I'm happy. KBM is possibly realizing the error of their ways. Or plotting against me actively, I'm not sure. Ooh, a little pin situation. That's fun. And what if I don't cooperate? Like if I play just f5, for example. I can be very uncooperative. This is definitely a good example of that. Uh-oh, a suspicious queen sacrifice approaches. Excuse me. I do see some tricks and traps in store. That's all fun behavior. What do I want from this position? I could just give the rook if I want to. Oh, I have better options probably. Cray says the shower water takes a few minutes to heat up. I feel like with the shower, my situation is always like, it takes time to heat up, and by the time it gets hot, like I'm gonna run out of hot water. I think that's kind of the circle of life or something. All right, well we got some fun time options here. What are we gonna go with? All right, here's a fun idea. Maybe fun. So obviously I'm going to lose my rook. We all knew that this would happen. But I get to start attacking much sooner, I think. A more principled move was probably like knight f6 or something like that. Okay, so he's not going for it. Which brings me maybe to my next point. Let's see. Excuse me. There's quite a bit of counterplay here. Hello, yes, Zoe. Welcome. Why lose the rook when I could have lost the knight and saved the rook? Good question, Cray. I think it's really important for me to get my pieces out. And I have such a big material advantage that I can afford to give it up just to keep my life simple. So it might not be best, but it's easy to, yeah, contra jugas, see. But it's at least easy enough for me to handle. And yeah, I guess that's the long and short of it. Now I am in a position where, you know, I just have a queen. and all my pieces are out. I was a little bit worried. I'll show you at the end. There were some lines where, like, if I play knight f6, white plays bishop takes f6, and I play like rook f8 to save my rook, I end up losing the rook anyway because of ideas like bishop c4, or if I castle, then there's bishop c4, and that was true even if I didn't play this weird like queen a5 and queen d5 idea. I'll show it at the end. It's definitely important to look at to see why it made sense. Okay, let's do this. Get our pieces active. All right, enjoy that hot water. Okay, survey time. How many of you guys, or have any of you visited a business that is based in an old house, like the Marshall Chess Club, for example, or the Mechanics Institute? These are like chess historical fixtures that are also in a former residence and in a residential district. I feel like people don't really consider it to be too weird. You know, no one blinks at going to the Marshall Chess Club. But if you did like a restaurant in that setting, if it wasn't like a really fancy restaurant, people would probably be like, "Oh, that's weird." Or, you know, there are like some businesses where it's much more normal to be inside of a residential feeling building than others. So what's your vibe? Have you guys experienced that kind of thing? Anyone been to the Marshall or the Mechanics Institute, or a similar like chess place in another city, perhaps? And if, oh yeah, so Zoe says, or Pasha says that she's been to a few of those in California. There's a place called Gym of the Mind. Cool. DH Germany. Hello. Where have you been? I feel like it's been a little bit of time since you were on this journey with us. Jake says not chess businesses, but has seen museums, restaurants, and cafes based out of old houses. And was that cool? Was that good for you? I feel like that's cool, but I know not everyone feels the same. All right, let's try something a little bit interesting. I'm going to try to just increase my piece activity a little bit more. My knight's good, my queen's good, my rook's good for now. I'm going to try to work on those other guys. I think in the US, people might be accustomed to things being more like brand new feeling, and that's just not how things are in most of the world. Like in Europe, a lot of things are old, and that's cool. And so I also kind of like that feeling, the old house. DH Germany says he was in Cologne for about a week and got back only a few days ago. Welcome back. I think an old house also has a kind of like a vibe, like it could be like if you're learning something there, it's like it's a scholarly atmosphere. That's kind of nice. All right, I'm gonna just keep rolling here. Also, maybe it has like a library kind of energy. A lot of libraries are like kind of fantastic buildings that have just been dedicated to that purpose for a long time. Pacha, I want to know more about this gym of the mind. What's the deal with that? What's gym of the mind like? Excuse me. Taking with a pawn, I think it's a double-edged decision. Here I actually just get a pawn, so that's kind of convenient. At least I think I get a pawn. Okay. I think it's time to get my king involved. Rook and knight against queen is the situation at hand. Gotta save my queen, why not? DS Jeremy says there are some places which are Altstadt. Yeah, it is nice when architecture has a history. I was asking about it in the beginning of the conversation in the context of like if you're going to a business, how does it feel when it's kind of an old place? Like in the US, our oldest chess clubs, which are only a couple hundred years old, are like the Marshall Chess Club and the Mechanics Institute, and they feel like establishments of higher learning. I think the age of the building and the old style kind of contributes to that vibe, and it's nice for a chess club, in my opinion. Pacha says that there was a chess house in LA that was a gym and chess place and game store. Yeah, that sounds fun. It's like one-stop shopping for many of our nerd needs. Exercise, chess, converted house. Yeah, sounds nice. Alright, I'm going to go for the protecting my own pawn. Safety first. Yeah, not unexpected. Knight d2. Excuse me. Alright, now I think this is going to be dangerous for white. Yeah, Jake seems to like the homey feeling of being in an establishment where like people may be on the premises. I think a chess house in particular has a good vibe. You know, I don't know if people like wish for the lifestyle of like a traveling chess person, but that's pretty cool, in my opinion. All right, what's my move? I think it should be King f6. That's where I've been heading this whole time. And now there's an impasse. They need to defend both of these, and that's not so easy. Also, similar to that vibe, Jake, like sometimes I'll go to like a healing center or something where it's clearly like a family establishment and they're just doing it in the same building that they've been owning for generations or something. I'm like, oh yeah, that feels reliable. It's a good reliable feeling. Institutional acupuncturist or whatever. It gives kind of a vote of confidence. Like, they've been doing this for a long time and they've based their whole lifestyle around it. It's probably working. All right, good game, KBM. This one was just a tactical melee a little bit. So H3, a little bit passive, just like giving me the chance to do what I came to do. Now, if I play E5 and you don't, let's say you tuck this back, then I could always take this, and then you're in a lot of danger. So it makes sense to take back. If you duck back now, then there's E4, but you'll notice queen takes E4 is check. So if I play like this, it's really like a gambit style where I'm hoping to get something against this. So this was probably the better way to go. I would probably play like F5, and you can prevent me from playing E4 now if you want to. I think that's more plausible. Like, maybe here you play E4 yourself, and I might just play F4 and accept like space as my good games. Space is my big thing that I got. Space and development. This is probably essential, but you have to notice that like I don't have this attack. Yeah, it's check. That's important. Maybe we could get another game. Let me hit you with a rematch while we're here. Where's my rematch button? I always forget that the rematch button goes away. If you send me another challenge, I'll take it. Alright, let's pivot to the streak while we wait for that to come in. Continue streaking. So there's rooks hanging, clearly. But there's probably counterplay associated with, like, an attack with the bishop, something like that. Okay, let's do this one puzzle. Jake says their cousin runs a daycare out of their garage. It's not quite the same feeling. Yeah, there's definitely some potential for like the garage band vibe coming through as a high note compared to the like establishment feeling. I think part of it's because like things that start in a garage and stay in a garage doesn't give a vote of confidence. All right, so I'm playing black again. That's fine. I was playing... Alright, so last game we played C6. Since there was a request for Caro-Kann from... who was our friend who was asking for Caro-Kann? It was Cray. So I'll go do something Caro-esque here. DS Germany says, how did the whole good luck thing begin in online chess? Why wish your opponent good luck? And is there luck in chess? Yeah, I think it is supposed to be a nice gesture. It is also a little bit odd, especially because I think a lot of people, when they say good luck, they really just don't mean it. So, like, stop being a fake person. But the begrudging good luck is also kind of like trying to get over yourself. I think it's a nice thought, even if it's like not really accurate. All right, I'm gonna try this Queen B6 thing again just to keep the theme. All right, Queen C1, good move. I could have chosen G4 as well, but this looks good. I don't mind it. I don't know when the good luck thing really began. I haven't looked into the history of it. I think there's some opportunity for like finessing here, but I don't know if I need to finesse that hard. I think I'll just play knight f6, normal move. A lot of like traditions that are polite have the intention of demonstrating like a lack of danger. at their root. Like shaking hands is like a demonstration that you don't have a weapon concealed. So I think wishing good luck to your opponent when you would really like to win the game may have something like that. Like, you know, it's saying kind of like, we're playing a game, no hard feelings, I would like to win, but I'm going to say the opposite just to show you how much I don't care, and this is fine. So maybe it just comes from it being game-like. You know, just trying to give it that game vibe. It could also be a flex. It's like, good luck, you'll need it. Alright, we got a challenge coming in. Alright, we got Cray with a 10 plus 10. Let's get to it. Good luck. I will play the Caro-Kann, a pre-move c6. This could be interesting. Let's try this. Okay, and I'll keep Caroing it up as advertised. Even if no one plays e4 against me, it's fine. I know you guys requested Caro-Kann and won't play e4. I'm over it. I'm gonna be okay. Maybe I'll get one Caro-Kann before the end of the night. Let's do the Queen b6 again, since I'm doing that in the other game. Prudent move. Knight b4 was on the table. Not literally now. Stop it. Alright, e6. Just getting my pieces out. e3. Allowing queen takes b2. That's bold. But not unheard of, because you can just move this knight and it protects the rook. Now it's up to me to prove my mettle. I think this is actually very good for white, but let's see what he can come up with. Bishop d3, of course, what else? I think this is the part where I throw the monkey wrench in. So the idea with knight e4 here is so that if they take, I'll take with the pawn. Bishop d3. Okay, so this is not going for the kind of counterplay that I was expecting. I thought rook b1 and rook takes b7 would promise more piece activity. So I may just consolidate my position with bishop takes d3. Just trade down, have a good day. Knight e2, interesting. Now I need to get my pieces out, that's true. But I think this is also maybe a special opportunity to play c5. I don't know how accurate that is. Because if I play c5, it also opens up the d4 square for them. And I'm not sure if I'm cool with that. Alright, so pawn takes. And I may be strong-armed into playing a passive move here. I'm not sure. I'm going to just try to attack this pawn and see how he likes that. Okay, I have some interesting ideas in this position. I think just bishop e7. Normal move, good move. Alright. What if I go for ultimate greed? Ultimate greed. How's ultimate greed feel? Ultimate greed feels pretty good. I'm going to go for the ultimate greed. Not going to develop any of my pieces. Let's see if you can get me. Castling is good, so I'll just imitate them. They do a good move, I'll try to do a good move. Cray says, all I saw from moving my rook was a hanging pawn. So here's the counterplay. If oh, we can look at this at the end as well. So if rook b1 takes, you can take the pawn on b7 at the end. So that would have been the counterplay that I was seeing for you. But this position also looks pretty good for you. It seems like it really has kind of worked out. Alright, Alright, now here's a pop quiz for KBM. Alright, I want to think about this. I feel like I have some special opportunities. Queen b3. Okay. I feel cool with just trading. Yeah, that's a forcing move, Cray. That's true. I think I kind of have to trade it off. And now I need to move my knight in order to avoid bishop takes b8. That would have been probably winning a pawn or something. Alright, now here comes knight e5, taking possession of some good squares, so I'm going to try to support my knight. DH Germany says, many of my opponents play for tricks and traps, mostly in blitz, but also in 15 plus 10. Does this happen over the board as well? And he means unsound gambits, the fishing pole traps, and other stuff. Sometimes traps like fishing pole trap, or like Noah's Ark trap, or like different opening traps, they they're actually backed by other positional ideas, which are just fine. So it's like you get the advantage of having something trapping to aim for, maybe get a quick win, but you also have, you know, a position that's still sound. So that's why I think those kinds of things persist, because you get a trick at no cost. But for things that are really, really crazy, usually I don't see why it needs to be that way, you know. People do play on sound stuff, kind of depending on their opponents to not have some opening knowledge. Sometimes they think it's practical, like it's unlikely for their opponent to be aware. But that's not always the case. I'm going to try this. A little bit dubious, but I think it should be fun. Alright, now support my pawn. Yeah, Cray, this is a pretty good match so far. You're down 2 pawns, but you've gotten a lot of activity. You've developed your pieces well. Your king's safe. You know, a lot of potential in the position. Rook a4, okay. I have to be careful since I haven't finished my development. Okay, he's taking, so I'm going to take 2, of course. Let me get this knight more active. I think this knight deserves a home. Alright, now this is threatening maybe knight d7. So I'll just prevent knight d7. I don't see a real issue with that. I think probably white made the most of the situation, and that's not so shocking because their idea of knight g3 was to take the bishop, and so it wasn't too much of a challenge for them. Yeah, you want to stop my bishop from going on b4, right? But I'm gonna get it anyway, right? Like, let's say I just go ahead and play bishop to b4. Is that a problem? I think it looks okay for me. So if something's not going to last, like if you can look ahead and see like on the next move they're anyway going to play what the move that they wanted to play, you should keep looking and try to find something with a little bit more staying power. Queen d1. Okay, interesting. I think f6 is in order. Let's kick that knight back. Okay, so he's taking on d5. I could take in a couple different ways. I think taking with the knight is good because I'm hitting the bishop and this is creating a tactical problem for white. Because her knight is also protected. Alright, DH says, Jan Gustafsson often explains why we shouldn't play the Stafford Gambit. There's always people in chat saying, but it works at my level. They do not get his point that there's an easy refutation. Yeah, I think I even published a Stafford Gambit refutation on my website, on my YouTube channel. Bishop d6 is blundering a piece. I think I'm going to go for it. I could also take the knight, so I have options. Oh, the knight's not blundering. The rook's protected, so I have to take the bishop. All right, kick the knight back. Good for me. I'm gonna congratulate myself on that. Welcome back, Ryan. Yeah, I can play one more game. Actually, just send me a challenge right now. We can get into it. As long as there's some increment, I'll happily play a third game. All right, let's tuck the bishop. Oh, actually, I kind of like it still on b4, but maybe the knight's better on b4. Let's keep the bishop back. All right, where do we stand now? What's our follow-up? I think my knight is a little out of place, but I'm not so concerned. Not really. All right, I see your challenge. Let's get to it. All right, and so the request was Sicilian, so I'm going to just pre-move c5. All right, so he's threatening to take my pawn, and that would give him some activity, so probably it's good for me to stop that from happening. And this is probably the most reasonable way to accomplish that. Okay, I have another challenge, it looks like. Let's get that going. All right, Santosh is challenging. Let's go. I'll pre-move c5 here as well. All right, so he's playing closed Sicilian. I'll play e6 and see how that goes. Here, I think I'll give white some freedom. What would you like to do against bishop f8? That's your question. All right, let's get rid of that knight. It's dangerous. We don't need that. All right, let's say we go for the fast d5 break, since d5 is so important all the time. All right, I'm going to go for the c5 break. Got to get my pieces out. I'm going to bring my king to the center so I can bring my rook over. All right, knight f3, normal move. I will play d6. Let's try that. All right, take, take. Yeah, my queenside was in danger, but now I've got it under control. I think I can snag this pawn, so I will. Happy to snag it. This is not unexpected, so here comes knight c6. Strictly necessary move. All right, he's castling. Very safe, very demure. I'm going to try d4. This is maybe too ambitious, but it's interesting. c4, okay. b4. Let's bring the rook. No, I'll bring the other rook. I think everybody's safe over there. All right, here's the check. Bishop e6, blocking the check. Let's go after the pawn now that I have a chance to. All right, Santos is playing d4. All right, he's taking a check, so I'm taking back. Knight f6. Yeah, long-term growth mindset doesn't really accommodate playing things just for tricks. And that's the difference. Like, having a trick is one thing, but playing just for tricks is another thing. Really, like, long-term, you can't afford to be a person that only plays for tricks if you want to get really good. Getting very generous time bonuses from everybody. You guys are too kind. One of these days, quite soon actually, I will be having a real simul where I give myself a normal amount of time for a simul at the very beginning. And I hope that you guys will come for that as well. Okay, so we've got ourselves some kind of knight or situation. I think I'll play knight g4. Knight g4 is a weird knight or scenario. And I find that enjoyable. So, what can I get away with here? Can I get away with this? This looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to just protect my stuff, protect my rook. Alright, here comes some attackers, some would-be assailants. Let's protect and defend simultaneously. That's usually a good thing to do. Sorry, guys. I think a little bit of prophylaxis might be in order. Alright, just gonna be bold and brash. Take that. Bishop f4, developing, good move. I'm gonna try to deal with my issues, as one does. Queen a4, yeah, that's a good move. That's what I thought we were gonna see here. Okay, Queen f3, I remember that being actually a good move. I'm not sure I should have played the way that I did in this game. Okay, this knight is suddenly doing a good job. So I want to put an end to this all as soon as I can. Let's give this a try. Alright, c4. Attacking move. I probably have to take en passant in order to not concede anything. And, hold on. So if I take en passant, does that even solve my problem? What did I even play last move? Yeah, knight f6. Alright, I'm gonna just accept my fate. Alright, now bishop takes c4 is check, of course. I'll just put my king away. Excuse me. I'm under attack. Stranger danger. Yeah, that seems right. Bishop takes a6. Okay, that's interesting. I think I can just take the queen there. Yeah, thanks for playing games. I'm glad that you feel like it's helping you improve. Sometimes all you need is just somebody in your corner. And that's what coaching is sometimes. Not just that, also like bringing expert knowledge. Yeah, good game KBM. It was just unfortunate for the queen blunder at the end. Maybe, so if you take and check, maybe just drop the queen back, like queen takes a3. I think this would have been the way to go. Just queen takes a3 there at the end. You would have been probably okay. Okay, throw the check. Yeah, good games, KBM. Thank you. Oh, I'm almost at the end of my time. Probably we need to wrap these games, and then I'll see you all next time. Did I blunder something? Okay, probably I should have thought more carefully to reach this position. Yeah, I'm not sure I like my position that much at this point. Let's put that there. Let's just pass the turn, because I think that'll help a lot for getting towards checkmate. I probably need to get rid of that knight. It's a very strong knight. Even if it leaves my position in bad shape, it's just necessary. Alright, Santosh is going for the attack immediately, again. Santosh is always attacking me. Let's try this out. This is dangerous, but I have to accept this danger. I've already messed up the opening considerably here. Alright, good game, Cray. Yeah, I think you did pretty well to get here. I mean, you're down a couple of pawns. I think on this move you should probably protect this pawn somehow, like one of these moves. And once you start giving it away, if you insist on giving it away, after this point you need to play very actively in order to get your compensation. So rook b1 was really essential at this point. Yeah, coming up with ideas over and over again in the chess game can be really challenging. So I get that sense of like tunnel vision, as you call it. But as you see more and more chess games and stuff, I think you're gonna find that it improves. I wouldn't worry too much. Okay, what is going on? Yeah, these are my last games. I'm not going to start a new one right now, but I appreciate you guys playing. Okay, so here's h5. I think this works well with my idea. Now I just need to survive against Ryan. In a worse position, much worse position. But I have some ideas. Let's see what I can get up to. Yeah, we're almost done here. It won't be too long. Okay, so I think I can just take this without too much trouble. and calmly castle without getting checkmated. Because when you have this bishop on g7, usually you're like relatively immune to attack. Let's see what I can do. Cray is asking, what time control do I recommend to play? He usually plays 1 minute and 5 minute. I think 5 minute is great because it's a balance of being able to practice deep thinking and long-term planning and calculation while also seeing a lot of games. 1 minute I don't really recommend very much. I know that it's fun, but it's usually not very productive for chess improvement, unfortunately. Oh, DS Germany asked while I was gone, did I tell anything about the project I'm working on? Yeah. So I have a few things in progress. One is that I'm opening a chess academy. And so that's in New Orleans, but we're going to also have some components of things that are online, things that need to be developed still. We're going to be offering training materials, books that I hope will also be beautiful and entertaining, just all the things that you want to see in a book that you invested money in. So those are things that you can look forward to wherever you are in our merch shop as we get going. Our website, I'll send it to you. Yeah, this is probably the biggest thing that I'm working on right now for chess. I have other things, but we're gonna roll them out in due time. Okay, I think I just have to defend the mate. That's all. Just don't die. That's all. Okay, now. Time to not get checkmated. If I don't get checkmated, I'm gonna be fine. Alright, now this is totally expected. I have to sacrifice the rook, but I thought this might give me a more interesting position compared to just passively defending for a long time. I think I'll just start like this. Just put all my pieces on light squares and see where it takes us. Alright, he's taking. Very good. I think I'll take back, simply. Now I need to not get checkmated, need to make a spot for myself. That's probably not like the smartest thing I could have done, but that's what I did. Alright, rook d6, good move. I think I have to just keep defending. Pranay says he's 1900 FIDE. Can we play next? Well, I would like to play you. Unfortunately, I'm at the end of my time here. So what I recommend is that you come next time. I do this basically every day. usually around the same time. Only on Sundays I do like variety content. You can also check out our Discord and stay up to date on what we are doing. And everybody's welcome to join the Discord. If it was earlier, I definitely would have taken your challenge. Okay, what am I going to do with this one? Maybe just double the rooks and keep going. It's easy to make a mistake, especially when simuling. Right, queen e3, good move again. I'll just keep that safe, no problem. Ryan's asking, what is the difference between FIDE and USCF? FIDE is just the International Chess Federation. USCF is its own special thing. Like it's like the country level, and FIDE is the international level. They're not the same organization, but they cooperate because they're both chess federations. Okay, so I lost my pawn. That's not great. I'll just play a little bit actively and see if I can survive. My position's been bad for a long time. Expert is 2000 USCF. Yeah, that's right. So I was a candidate master, which is like above expert. Expert is kind of an informal category. Okay, good moves here. Alright, I'm a little low on time. I need to figure it out. I think this is my way. Queen e3. Okay, coming right back. I'll just try to harass a little bit. Ryan asks, is candidate master higher than national master? Sometimes it is. There is some overlap with national master. They're titles that work in kind of different ways. Like candidate master is a norm-based title, so you have to have certain levels of performance to get it, and a certain number of them. National master, you just have to hit a certain rating. So it's possible to get all of your candidate master norms without achieving the high rating that you need. Which is my case, actually. Oh no, I got checkmated. Santosh got me. Alright, good game. Now I have to go face my fate over here. That was too bad. For me, anyway. Okay, doing this. Yeah, good game, Santosh. I was getting a little bit confused just because all these things are hanging. I probably should have been a little more precise over here by playing like just rookie 8 and prevent all these problems that I started like defending in strange ways. I just wasn't paying attention when I made this move. This would have been much more normal. Just don't allow queen e7. Don't allow any long-term pressure. I'm a bad actor. Well, I hope not. I really think that this transfer, rook c8 and rook c7, was too slow. Okay, a4 is coming. Yeah, I'm just gonna get roasted, probably. So, how can I manage this position? Manage this risk. It's a very difficult position. I'm just gonna try. Candidate Master is a weird title because it doesn't sound like a real title. It's like the most underwhelming name for a chess title that you can have, which slightly makes me want to try a little bit and just get the next one so we never have to wonder about it ever again. Pacha says that she's surprised every time the engine says that they played a brilliant move, or surprised by which moves it says are brilliant, I guess. Yeah, I also find it weird. I don't really understand all the time. Candidate Master sounds like you just haven't become a master yet, even though it's a title. Expert sounds even better than Candidate Master, you know? Excuse me. Not sure. Jake says the free tier of ChatGPT calls all of his moves brilliant. That makes sense because these LLMs are so sycophantic. Like if you tell them like rate my chess moves, they'll definitely just compliment you the entire time. What a fluffer, right? Danger. So much danger. I'm gonna go for this one. Just desperate. See what I can do. Just need to stop these pawns somehow. If I can get rid of these pawns, I can probably survive. All right, let's try, I don't know, let's try this. Dissatisfaction guaranteed. Cray asked, could they send a game that was just played and can I review it? I think since I'm wrapping up today, I probably should not. But if you send it to me next time, or if you send it to me on Discord, I can save it for next time we're all on stream together. I would definitely take a look at one of your games. Let me see if my Discord command works. I used to have a Discord command. Alright, throw the check. Just a Hail Mary check. Nothing super special. Queen e4, okay. Not sure I'm down with that. I mean, if you gotta play it, you gotta play it. Give this a shot. This is like the wrong time in the game to focus, like after it's gotten really messed up. When you're cooked is not the time. Yes, I am Coach Robert PhD on YouTube, also Twitch, if that's what you're asking. Also Discord. Excuse me. Yeah, Discord, that's right. Shoot, I'm not really sure what to do with this position. I have a tiny idea, maybe a tiny idea. It's just such a miserable position. Alright, I'm just gonna be an annoying, harassing one as long as I can. That is the name of the game. Yeah, thanks for sending it. I'll take a look. Just down a whole piece now. Plus pawns. Sad, really. He'll probably just play something like Rook F2 and then kick all my pieces away. And I'll just shed a tear. Let's try to get some counterplay. Any little morsel of counterplay. Yeah, looking forward to seeing these games. Send them along. What is Ryan up to? Yep, rook takes f7. Good move. Yeah, queen e6. Good move. Now it's just dealer's choice. Lots of good moves to play. Nothing to do, just bad moves. Okay. Yeah, I think this is it. Alright, good game. Well done, Ryan. Got me out of the opening here. So, where I went wrong, probably not here, but I think maybe queen d5 was bad. Or at the very least, knight f6 was bad. Knight f6 was definitely bad. I might have missed an opportunity somewhere here. Yeah, good game, Ryan. Yeah, I don't know why I played queen d5 when I can simply play like queen b6. This is a much more normal, good move. It wasn't necessary to enter such complications. Yeah, I think I was feeling the pressure a little bit in the other games and didn't focus up. And you converted in a good way. You know, you took all the pawns. You gave me a little bit of counterplay at the end here with the back rank ideas. It was not necessary, but it's still very good. Okay, guys, I think I need to wrap up here. And hopefully I'll see you all next time. And I have a bunch of events coming up on YouTube. You can see I've scheduled... Hold on, let me read it out to you guys. And we'll also go for the Twitch raid, of course. Let me see. Yeah, thanks DS Germany. It's annoying for me to cough for this long. I'm kind of like that though when I recover. All right, so the things that are coming up that you guys should be aware of. Is there any reason that I prefer Lichess? It's free. It's a charity. It's very simple. I like it that way. Okay, so things that are coming up that you all should be aware of. Let's see. Going in order. What day is it? April 30th. So May 17th. I've scheduled something that I'm calling Coach Robert versus the World. You can see that. I'm going to drop the link here so you guys can add it to your schedule or whatever you like. Alright, so this is Coach Robert versus the world. And what this is gonna be is just a mega simul, hopefully. And the Lead Chess page for that simul, I'll send that to you guys in a moment if you want to jump in. It's gonna be one where I'm like actually playing a lot of people at the same time with a more realistic time control, not like these tiny simuls that we've been doing. If you want to join the team so that you can join that, this is that team. The simul is, hold on, coming up. Here comes the link. So in order to join the simul that I just put the link for, you have to join this team on Lead Chess. Alright, Ryan says, what is a flaw that I've seen from his play style that you could fix? Good question. Let me share these things and think about it a little bit. Okay, so there's the link. To join that simul, you have to join that team, and that will be on May 17th. I have an event where it's like, it says me versus the chat, and that's just gonna be like taking challenges like what we've been doing. But I'd like to take, you know, a lot of challenges from the chat, hopefully, on that day. And that'll be at a different time on Sunday. Let me send the link for that. I do stream basically daily, not just when I'm free, usually at 8:30 in my time zone, Central Time US. And something that I think you guys should really pay attention to is the fan battle that's coming up. And here's the link for the fan battle page. So a fan battle, I've done this in the past. It's an event where the viewers play an arena, and I give live commentary on their games during the arena, and that's always really great. I like seeing the viewers playing each other, giving commentary and tips on their games is fun. And then even more interesting than that is the fan face-off. We have a couple of people from the Discord group who are going to have a match against each other, and that's on June 7th, and that'll be live commentated, and then we'll get commentary from everybody here. Cray says sounds nerve-wracking. It's actually real chill because arenas are not like normal tournaments. You just keep playing as long as you can within the time limit, and then they score you just based on how many games you got. It's really just kind of like what we would do anyway, just playing, except that it'll be in a group with people that you know, and I'll be giving commentary. So very chill still. And up to you guys if you want to join. Definitely check out the fan face-off. That's going to be probably more nerve-wracking for those two people who have to fight each other. And looking forward to seeing what they say about their games. All right, so let's go to Twitch and do our raid. Let's find out what we have available. Who can we raid in chess? All right, there's AI chess. We don't want to raid any AI chess, I think. All right, we've got a speedrun guy. 88 puzzles in speedrun. Let's get that guy. I think that's who we're gonna raid. Prepare for the raid. JVO, is JVO live? Okay, hold on. Let me check if JVO is live since that's a request. JVO is not live, but we'll keep them in mind. All right, let's start the raid on this guy, Eagle Chess. Let's show him a good raid. Let's go, people. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.